Technology is a bridge that connects our aspirations to what is possible. It actually connects our dreams to reality. Hello, welcome to Clockwise. My name is Providence Essien. Clockwise is a podcast that focuses on the tech world, its demands, its advantages and disadvantages, the various in-demand skills that can give you a tech advantage to earn in dollar and to spend in naira. And please don't forget that Clockwise is being produced by Netisens ICT, the biggest ICT hub in Akwa Ibom State. And today we have a very interesting guest that will be talking about the future, Web3, and you're going to meet him after this break. Yes, welcome back. As I said earlier, I am being joined by the CEO of Declan Work, a Web3 freelancing site, and you're going to meet him today. Please, you can give a virtual round of applause to Mr. Edidion Umana. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm glad to be here on the Clockwise podcast.
Clockwise.
Yeah, on the Clockwise podcast, and I want to say a big thank you to Netisens ICT for putting this together.
Yeah.
Recently, we've seen a lot of amazing tech initiatives being driven by netizens to empower young people in Akwa Ibom. And the Clockwise podcast is one of those avenues, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's go straight to the point. Why Web3? What is Web3?
Okay, basically, Web3 is about the idea of having internet services, but this time not controlled by central authorities. Central authorities in the sense that you have a Facebook account. The day Mark Zuckerberg's teams decide that maybe the content on that account
they don't like it
anymore,
pull it down.
They can take that account. And generally, ownership of content or ideas or initiatives on the internet has been limited or being controlled over the years by central authorities who have built the platforms we freely enjoy. And people say that when the platform is free, the people become the product. You get. So we have free platforms that we are using. And these platforms have changed how we do business, how we connect with people, how we transact value from day to day. But it happens that these platforms are controlled by the big shots, the big guys in the industry who have built them over years. People came to say, no, we don't have to be limited by this. We don't have to be restricted or limited to control, right? We want to have a platform where everyone has a say. A platform where everyone who contributes value can gain value.
A decentralized platform.
Decentralized
now,
platform.
I know, during the 90s and 2000, we have Web 1.
Web 1.0.
1.0. Yeah. Then, currently, we are using Web 2.
Yeah.
And I feel that Web 3 is the future.
Yeah.
What's the difference between Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3?
So let's look at from Web 1.0. The first version of the internet basically allowed for just text and images. At that time, people could not interact with the internet. You could only access maybe images being put up and text. And that was with Web 1.0. And at that time, when the internet came to bear, people thought that the internet was a fad. If you really check history, people thought that it was just the internet boom. But the internet radicalized a lot of things and changed how a lot of things operated. And then we now evolved to have Web 2.0. Web 2.0 is actually the fact that you can interact with the web. You can actually click that like button on the Facebook post and you can see it shows that you've reacted in real time. You can actually send them a message to your friend through Messenger, and you see that through instant messaging, the messages is being sent and received in real time. So the idea of Web 2 was to bring interactivity to the web and also to bring access to a lot more persons to the web. And then we now had the boom of the mobile mobile access. So even today we see that more people access the web from mobile than from desktop computers. So Web 2.0 actually brought about that phase where we could interact with the web, share our own content, see people's reaction. Then the idea of Web 3 is to now bring value to the people who are using the web. There's a lot of money around the internet, you agree with that. But who are the money going? Where is the money going to? The money is going to all of the big corporations that own these big platforms, and by proxy, they own our data because we are using these platforms. So since these guys own our data, they can decide to monetize this data through ads. They can decide to pay, big companies can pay a lot of money to access, to do their targeted campaigns through all of this. So the information we have in Web2 is not private. It's not actually secluded. You get. We can literally talk about a product. I can talk about a podcast mic, and when I go home, I open up my Facebook page, and one of the ads I will see will come from an e-com store trying to sell me a podcast mic. How did they see that information? That means somehow our data on the internet in Web2 is not actually private. So people now thought of how can we privatize the web? How can we bring ownership back to the users?
So won't you take business away from these tech giants?
Of course, you might be taking business away from the big tech giant, but you are bringing value back to the people, the everyday guys who use the web. And it shocked me to realize that creators on Spotify, creators on Facebook get only a negligible amount of what they actually earn because the rest goes to the company that build this platform. But imagine all of those values went straight to the creator. That's what the Web3 economy is all about, empowering people for the value they bring to the table and also bringing back privacy and ownership on the web.
What would be the focus of Web3? Because from what you've just said, Web1 was about reading. Going online to read. You cannot interact. Web2 is about interaction, contributions, and what will Web3 be? What will be the focus on Web3?
I really believe that the focus of Web3 will be driving value.
So
that this guy comes on, is able to participate in a community, and he earns from participating in that community. This other guy is creative. He has some design talent. He's able to put up amazing designs. He's being rewarded value for putting up those designs. This other person is a digital artist who can create an NFT. You can put that NFT on like a marketplace, and people can buy that NFT. So Web3 will really focus on driving value to the people, helping people who participate in this digital economy to benefit firsthand, without like all of the censorship that comes from all of the big firms and that owns a lot of the infrastructure.
Now, Web2 was disruptive. You will not, you agree with me? Very disruptive.
Very disruptive.
Now, will Web3 be disruptive?
Yes.
How disruptive will it be?
It will be so disruptive that people would want to start building their own solutions. In this sense, when you want to create a let's say a YouTube channel, you need a particular milestone, right, to start monetizing.
Yes.
But it's also in Web3. In Web3, you put up the content, the people that interact, based on the number of people who have seen that content and interact with that content, you start earning straight off. That's why I talked about like driving value.
Without having a third party.
Without having to go through all the third party or trying to get a particular monetization count or try to hit a particular metric. And now you're reaching that metric as a creator. You are supposed to earn, all right? But it's not necessarily so because the platform makes the rules, because they build the infrastructure. But Web3 is bringing that open playing field where everybody can participate freely without having all of those restrictions, and then still gain a lot more than what they have gained like in Web2.
Now, before we go on the break, I would like you to emphasize more on what you mean by decentralized.
Okay.
What do you mean by decentralized platform?
Okay. So from the word decentralized actually means allowing control to not be custodied by one person, but everybody who participates in that particular network owns a share and can control what happens. So when we're talking about decentralization, we're talking about removing central authorities, removing principals who can decide what happens to the people who use this platform, by making the people, just like democracy. Just look at decentralization like democracy, where the people, it is government for the people, by the people, right? But this time it is technology for the people, built by the people, and built for the people. You get, and it is the people who come together to build it. It's the people who benefit firsthand from it. All right, that's just the basic.
Now, I know
idea
that
of
content creators actually make money from these social medias like Twitter and the rest of it. Now, how will Web3 help in bettering our lives in that particular regard? How will you make money if there is no central authority where you can actually earn from? So how will you make money? Will I just post, let's for instance, I'll just post online and Samsung will just come and pay me?
Okay. I know you agree with me that in today's world, attention is a currency. Yeah. And
does it mean that those companies will be dealing with individual?
Okay, I'm trying to give context because I have to give context to put what I'm trying to say in light. So in sense of how creators will earn in Web3, basically every time someone comes on Facebook, or your digital footprint is being monetized. It's crazy. And that's one of the things that really motivated me to explore the Web3 space, because every time you visit it, like from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, all of the websites you've visited, all of the links you've tapped on your phone are part of the digital footprint, and there's a history for it. And then every time you want to access the internet, you pay to access the internet, you buy data, right? And consuming that data, using that data on social media platforms for each user, all right, a particular amount of money goes to the platform to use this data on.
Okay.
So every participant of the internet, by just participating, they are already contributing to the digital economy. The problem is that in Web2, this amount they have contributed goes first to the platform, and the platform decides what do we want to give to creators. But in Web3, whatever comes from the participation of individuals in this economy goes first to the creators. And it's more interesting with the idea of things like NFTs, because you see that if you had an NFT and you sold to this other guy, and this other guy sold to Mr. C, so there are three people in that value chain. So in NFT, you see that Mr. A still earn royalties from the sales that goes on that NFT because he is the first holder of that particular NFT. Value is being brought back to the users. So for every participation or interaction, there's value occurring to the people who are actually creating in that ecosystem and who are actually contributing value in that sense.
Now, will Web3 be more of artificial intelligence from what you're saying?
Yeah, I would say Web3 and AI has a lot in common. There's a lot of synergy between Web3 and AI. And AI is breaking limitations in a lot of ways. Like you've seen AI, you see ChatGPT launched in sometime in November, December of 2022. Between now and just 1 year, we've had people who have become AI experts in just a couple of months.
Yes.
They've become AI experts literally in just a couple of months. So Web3 and AI has a nexus and has a lot of things in common, but they are two different concepts, all right? They are two different like fields, but they are very complementary in that sense, where they're trying to democratize like access to end users. ChatGPT did something that in product like development we like to call it finding product market fit. Having a product so good that your friends people tell their friends about it, just like the initial version of Facebook, where students in Harvard will tell their friends, oh, check out this platform, Facebook and stuff. So I could literally, guy, have you done your assignment? You could try ChatGPT you just had to get there and then try using that product. So Web3 is trying to bring access to a lot more persons, make things easier to access, make it more beneficial, and make the users, the first users, the point of priority when giving out value for like their contributions in that digital economy.
Okay, what will be the relationship between Web3 and blockchain?
Okay, so basically, Web3, the principles of Web3 are built on blockchain. So blockchain is one thing, Web3 is another. So blockchain is actually a distributed ledger where information is being stored and it is immutable in the sense that information in that ledger cannot be changed, right? Unless everyone in that network agrees. While the idea of Web3 is actually building solutions on the blockchain and using blockchain technology, because blockchain itself is a unique technology. So using blockchain technology to facilitate solutions is Web3. So we have Web3 platforms that are play to earn. We have platforms that are learn to earn. We have platforms where you can just actively interact and get to earn one way or the other, or put out your own ideas. We are able to build ideas like Declan work on the blockchain, and that is Web3. So Web3 is actually people coming together, building ideas that solve problems. And I will not neglect the idea of solving problems, because when you look at Web1 was solving a problem for people who needed to access information, right? The guys were doing research.
Centralized.
Web2 also was solving a problem, bringing instant messaging. Instant messaging was like a dream before now. The Web2 brought that and made that happen. It was solving a problem. And see, people embrace technology today, not because they are doing it for the tech. They're not doing it for the tech. Not that they're doing it for the money. They're doing it because this solution solves something, does something so special for them. No other thing is doing it, so they want to use it. So you want to send a message to your PM. You don't have to go through fax or send the message that will get to them 1 week later. It happens in seconds, and Web2 solved that problem. So Web3 is solving the problem of value. Now look at freelancers across the world who are earning from, let's say, Fiverr or Work or other platforms. If you've ever tried receiving foreign payments from outside Nigeria, bro, you understand that it's crazy. Like, it's very, very difficult to process payments. You have to go through this. But with Web3, it happens. So I want to send $1 million to someone halfway across the world, and I have to pay less than $50 in fees, all right, or maybe in gas fees or charges. But try to send $1 million to someone in maybe Australia. You have to go to a lot of paperwork through your traditional bank. So Web3 is helping to facilitate seamless payments, seamless transfer of value, and also bring everyone to a level playing field where they can all participate and get value for the value they bring to the table. Thank you.
All right, no problem. You see, when we are back from this break, we are going to discuss more on Declan and why Web3 instead of Web2. We'll talk more when we're back from this break. Thank you.
At Netisens, we have built our state-of-the-art serene and conducive workspace. It is fully equipped with all the facilities to have a comfortable and an amazing work time at our hub. If you need a place to work, handle your business meetings, or take that exams, our workspace offers 24/7 power supply, unlimited access to internet, overnight hours, private space, and business services. Welcome to our versatile conference hall, a premier space that accommodates gatherings of 50 to 70 persons. Nestled within our facility, this conference hall is designed to cater to a diverse range of events, making it an ideal choice for both professional and social occasions. With its spacious layout and comfortable seating, our conference hall provides an optimal setting for seminars, workshops, trainings, and conferences.
All right, welcome back. We are still on the conversation of Web3, and Idiom Mana is still around. Idiom, why? Now, tell us more about your journey into tech. How did it start?
Okay, my journey in tech has been very interesting. It actually started joining a web development cohort in something called Project 2.0, and
that was when?
That was sometime in 2019.
2019. Okay.
So prior to this, I had been exploring computers. I had been, like the regular computer school and stuff, trying to see. I had done this Cisco NetAcad program while I was in secondary school, and it spawned my interest for like computers, and I really wanted to find a place like in this thing. Like I didn't really understand what it was all about, but I knew I had passion for things that had to do with computers, and I didn't really make any sense of it. But joining the web development cohort sometime in 2019 really shaped my journey. It was Project 2.0 hosted by Start Innovation Hub. So it helped me learn the basic skills.
What did you learn first?
I learned web development.
Okay.
I learned web development. And prior to even learning web development, early in 2019, I had started writing for Opera News. That time, Opera News was really trending back in the day. Opera News. If you're using the Opera Mini browser, you had to see Opera News. So my friend introduced me to, like, you could create content for these guys. They need news stories, they need blog stories, and I have a flair for writing. Writing comes to me natural. I didn't have to like train for it. So I didn't really know it was called content creation. I just knew that I wanted to put things that people want to read for Opera or pay me monthly, and I started doing that. And I thought there could be more. After the web development cohort, immediately after my training, I got an internship with a particular software development agency called editech.ng. Their headquarters in Ikotepene. So that was like my first gig. Editech first believed in me and gave me a shot to managing all of like the work, all of the back end and front end of his firm, and managing clients as well. So that was like immediately after my training, I had my first real world experience, like managing clients and managing client expectation project and all of that. And really, really shaped my perspective and my journey in tech. But the thing for me was, right from when I was a teenager, I'm a purpose-driven person. Okay. And I learned from my spiritual father, Pastor Sikosam of blessed memory. I always reference him anytime I speak. He really poured into my life as a young person. And I always want to do something more than what I could see. And I really believed, I always look for what avenues, what way can I impact my world? Moses had a staff. Other people, maybe other patriarchs in the Bible, we love to have special things, special gifts.
Pastor?
No, I'm not.
What's the connection between Christianity and technology?
It's life itself. It's life itself. Literally, it's life itself. You agree with me. Okay. So, pardon me if I make this reference. It's life itself.
No, it's fine. It's okay.
So you see that all of those guys had instruments or tools or platforms where they could affect their world in one way or the other. Okay. And myself, I never knew how I want to live my own purpose, because I always felt like I'm in Africa, a dark continent, and darkness, this light is only relevant when there's darkness. How do I solve problems? How do I contribute to like the bigger picture of things? And it happened that tech, it now dawned to me a few years into the journey that tech was my own way of like creating an impact, solving problems. I realized that I could solve problems for businesses, solve problems for like NGOs, for government parastatals. You get for organization of all types of skills. If I could harness this skill and know how to like bring it to bear and create value with it. So that realization, that desire to solve problems really drove me to actually try building things, tried out some things, failed at some things. Sometime in 2019, during like when I was interning and working. So sometime till I just been trying a lot of things to 2021. 2021, I met with someone, his name is Fredso. We came together. He wanted to build a P2P platform. Before that time, Binance P2P was not really a thing.
Okay.
So people needed to access crypto, and people wanted to access cash when they had crypto. So we thought of how do we create a platform where these people can buy and sell cryptocurrencies and can also access crypto like with ease. So the task was building something that was a P2P crypto exchange platform way back in 2021 when that was not really a thing.
Okay.
So it was very challenging. I had not worked on the nature of that project before. We started out and it was superb. It was amazing. We were averaging, like, I wouldn't want to mention figures, we were thousands of dollars weekly.
You made so much
like
money.
some months into it, like trading for helping people access. So you want to sell cryptocurrency, we help you, access crypto, and then we want to buy crypto, we can help you, like crypto to cash, fiat to crypto, crypto to fiat. Or we're able to facilitate that transaction on that platform. And that was like one of the biggest projects of my career at that point. And it was very challenging. But the desire to solve problems for people, we came together, ideated, and then we did it, and it worked, and people loved it. So every time the feedback we get was always like amazing. And we went on to build our first NFT project in the November of 2021. All we're trying to do was we're trying to fight infant mortality rates. You can imagine all of us, we were like late teens, early 20s, and we're trying to like solve infant mortality through an NFT project. So the goal of the journey has always been about what problems can we solve?
Okay.
How can we leverage technology to solve problems?
That's the mother of innovation.
Yeah. So that's where the innovation is. So my journey in tech has always been about solving problems, innovating, and trying to make life easier for people, because I learned from like the people who have been there in the industry. Like, I don't know, this might not come in, but Elon Musk bought his first supercar sometime in 1999, around 2000. He bought his first car that was worth $1 million. I thought which you get, because he was solving problems from X.com before he sold to PayPal. And Elon Musk has always been on the pedestal of solving problems. Even before Mark Zuckerberg built Facebook, he has been trying to build other things that has been solving problems.
Yes.
So you see, every great innovator we celebrate today has tried to solve problems one way or the other. Some have failed at some ventures, they succeeded. At some ventures, they had exit that was worth millions of dollars. But it's always what they sought to try to solve problems for people. So that's why I try to encourage other people coming up, try to see what problem can you solve, how can you offer value, like wherever you find yourself. So that's been my journey generally, trying to innovate, solve problem, and give value.
All right. Now, why do you choose Web3 in a very unpopular terrain? Web3 is very unpopular in this region. Why did you choose Web3 instead of Web2? You're working on a project on Web3. I like to make reference to the
Bible, but actually, why I choose Web3 was because, first off, I like to be unconventional. I don't want to. If I believe in something well enough, I'll rather go with that thing, work on it for months, even if it's not paying me what others are supposedly earning. So for me, Web3 came from, I told you about like building a crypto P2P platform.
Yes.
So for me, the journey to Web3 started there. All right. And I came to say that, okay, after building this platform, I came to explore other opportunities, other platforms. What are other young persons like trying to build in the blockchain and the Web3 space? And I got to see that it's young people who are like in their early 20s who are building some of the platforms that have total value locked in billions of dollars. Like they have projects in Web3 which are like valued for billions of dollars, and they are built by people who are in their early 20s.
But not in Africa.
They are not in Africa.
Not in Nigeria.
So that challenged me, and that motivated me that, okay, this is technology that is trying to democratize access and value to users. We can leverage on this platform to solve problems for people. So let's explore it.
What are the challenges you're facing, especially now?
Okay, particularly the challenges that I would say I'm facing would be, let me say on a personal level, would be having people, right? I know it's a challenge, but it's a challenge that will be solved gradually. But having people in this part of the world try to participate in this ecosystem, so that, because you cannot drive value alone. If you want to go fast, you can go alone. But if you want to go far, you need to go along with others.
Yeah. And
the challenge has been trying to see how we can drive massive adoption of these technologies in this region, in Africa. And I would say that particular challenge is being solved gradually, because there was this conference hosted by NIDA Nigeria, and it was tagged Digital Nigeria 2023. He had like speakers and participants from all around the world coming, and it interested me. I joined virtually. I joined Digital Nigeria virtually, and it interested me that one of the prominent topics of discussion during digital conference, Digital Nigeria conference was blockchain. So they had panel sessions, discussion sessions, fireside chats, speakers talk elaborately on blockchain. So if NIGDA, all right, realizes that blockchain is the future and they are trying to position through that, how much more everyone else? We are in this age where technology is advancing rapidly at the very, you can wake up today and what you knew yesterday
it's gone.
It's no more valid, you get. So in this space we have to be evolving with the space. We are in a jet age. So now building in this space is like building building a plane while flying it. So building the Web3 space is like building a plane while flying. You can imagine, that's crazy. It takes years for Airbus to deliver a couple of planes to the Kwara State government. So imagine you as a young person trying to build a plane and fly it at the same time. So you are building with technology that is relatively nascent or new, and you are learning the ropes along the line. So that's like where the challenge comes in. But with access to information and resources and network, we are able to overcome this challenge and still like put our ideas out there into the world.
Now, what skills do you think somebody that wants to build a project on Web3, what skills the person acquire?
I would say the basic tech skill we all know. And that's what really made me love Web3. Would you imagine that every skill you've learned in Web2, content creation, graphic design, product management, digital marketing, cybersecurity, data analytics, name them. All of them are applicable in Web3. And now, it is you to find out how do you transition from your current Web2 skill to Web3. So in fact, when people want to learn Web3, first of all, I advise them to come and take courses like Tech Advantage, so that they are grounded in Web3, in Web2 first. So taking courses from Tech Advantage,
you cannot jump the basics.
It will give you the fundamental level, level ground to build the right foundation, gain the proper information, build that skill in Web2, then you can transition to offer value in Web3, because it's literally almost the same thing. It's just different, just like having the same podcast but in different venues.
Wow.
Literally. And it's so beautiful. That means you could create content for a Web2 brand that was paying you 25,000 naira every month, and that's basically barely $25. Dollar is getting to 1,200 as of yesterday morning when I checked. And imagine now you're creating the same content for another brand in Web3, but you're being paid $150 per month. See the difference. Value. I talked about value. Web3 being about value. So that's it. So your skill, I tell people your skill in Web2 is very important. And one of the ways to even acquire those skills is leveraging opportunities in Tech Advantage at Netisens.
Okay. All right. Now tell us more about your Declan, your company Declan Work.
Yeah.
What do you do?
So Declan Work is primarily a freelancing in Web3 platform. We thought of how to help people access opportunities. So we have a lot of young people who are now adopting technology, who are now learning these skills. How can they access opportunities that will pay them for what their time is worth and for the value they are bringing to the table? So we are trying to lower the barrier of access to remote opportunities, and also help young people who are skilled to actually get paid well for the things they do. And that's where the idea of Declan Work was birthed. You get.
Now, how long have you been operating?
So we've been in operations for about a year, and we are only currently building, our platform and our community, and we have a very interesting and active community of young persons. And interestingly, when I came to the podcast, I came with someone who has benefited from Declan, who is a friend of mine. He came here together with me, and we had a conversation. We met, he's an old friend. We conversed, and I told him, okay, why don't you do this, and then see how. And then 3 weeks later, he sent me an email, forwarded me an email with an offer letter. He got an offer for a job in the US, and he's being paid in USD for that. So that's what we try to do. We try to help people access remote opportunities. And he did this without having any prior Web3 knowledge or Web3 skill. His skill in Web2 was enough for him to come here and then, thrive and do well excellently.
All right. Okay. Now, as we stand now, I want to understand something about the Web3. The Web2 took away jobs from some persons. Closed down some enterprise, some companies, some agencies. Will Web3 do the same thing?
Yeah, but I think Web3 would also,
because somebody said something. He said AI is not coming to take your job, but the person that can actually operate AI is coming to take your job.
Yeah.
Is Web3 coming to do the same thing?
I think Web3 is not coming to take away jobs. In fact, Web3 is more like complementing Web2. That's why people tech talents in Web2 can transition to Web3. So Web3 is more like complementing Web2, and Web3 is also opening doors to more opportunities that we previously had in Web2.
Okay, all right, that's good. Now, I want to also ask a very simple question. What are the challenges when you were actually going to Web3 from Web2, because you actually learned web design from Web2.
Yeah.
Now, who told you about, how did you come in contact with Web3? Because I know it's not popular here.
Yeah. So how I got to come in contact with Web3 is I would say I made the resolve that like after some realization, I made the resolve that I will not stop learning in this space. Okay. In this space, you have to keep learning. Like I talked about building a plane while flying it. You have to keep learning. So the journey of learning beyond first to take, we already built something that facilitated P2P transaction. People could buy and sell cryptocurrencies any time of the day, 247. And I was like, what's more? So it was from making research, listening to other like key opinion leaders in the space, and like, you know, looking at the value, the money running around in, like, you know, the value moving around in this Web3 space that spurred my interest and drove me to learn more. And something interestingly happened sometime around like early 2022. After, like I told you, we did the NFT project in November 2021, and mind you, we failed at that project. We lost a lot of thousands of dollars. Wow. We get double-digit thousands of dollars. It was crazy. We were young people, we had money. We thought we could just, but that taught us a lot of things. So during that time, I had like a 2-month window, like let's say 60 days, where every day I read research on Web3, and I was obsessed with this thing. And I saw that in 60 days, every time I went on Twitter to read and research and check out Web3 platform, I found a new Web3 platform I had not previously seen. Okay. So that means every day people are innovating. People are building ideas in this space. I'm like, so what is holding me back? We have the skill. I have the skill. My friends, we came together and we built our first project on BSC, on the Binance blockchain. Okay. And it was successful. We made some money. I'm like, wow, this thing we thought was an idea. We could put out something worked, and then it kept going. Now it's evolved to some of my friends gaining community manager roles, ambassadorial roles, and then getting to explore other marketing, managing proposals. They got to market projects, got gigs, and it began like that. That was how it really began for me. Learning, exploring, researching. That was how like I really got to, you know, get into the Web3 space.
That's and begin. That's wonderful. Your final word before we go.
My final word would be: do what you can with what you have and start from where you are. Literally, that would be my final word. It's as simple as that, because people want to hear, like, you know, aspire to acquire. They want to hear complex things, but the things that will help you make tremendous progress, they are literally as simple as bringing your ideas together. Sometimes you're with your friend. I told you about my friends coming together to build a project. Bring your ideas together. Guy, you can do this part, I can do this part, I can do this part. You can build a website, you can write this, you can do this. Come to the other side, you can work on that idea and make it happen. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be.
Failure is part of the process.
Yes, failure is part of the. Every great person.
Somebody said success is failure turned inside out.
Yeah. And I always like to tell people, Thomas Edison tried 10,000 times before he discovered the light bulb. He had 1,093 patents in his name. So if he tried 10,000 times on one patent, how many times did he try on 1,092 patents? Don't stop trying. Don't give up. Start from where you are with what you have and do what you can. Thank you.
On that note, we'll come to the end of today's episode. And look, like we always say, the illiterate of the 21st century are not those who did not go to school or those who will not go to school, but they are those who have refused to evolve as their environment is evolving. My name is Providence Essien. See you again. Thank you.
Thank you.